Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going now on to lesson planning. I'm calling it session 18 for us. That's our personal one, lesson planning. Now, I'm going to quickly just try and give you a broad outline of what we've done. When you started this course, we said it consists of 3 parts. First, classroom technology, teaching you what goes on in a classroom. Then specific skills development, where you actually write your lesson plan and you teach it and you practice it. And then your school visit, where you go out to the school and you actually teach. Now, you get a percentage for this, you get a percentage for this, and you get a percentage for this. If you fail one of these, you fail the year. And I think Mrs. van Wyk did explain that very carefully to all of you. So, all the assignments that you've had here in classroom technology, your ones on worksheets, your ones on SACE, your one on interactive charts, all those you are given marks for. And then the marks are at the end of your classroom technology. Now, I wanted us to be finished today with classroom technology, but if you have a look at my mark book here, you will see that there are still a whole lot of empty spaces of people that haven't handed in yet. So, let's now have a look at our specific skills development. What we learned here, we're going to put into practice here. Here we learned all about teaching strategies. How do I get it across? What kind of methods do I use? What kind of resources can I use? We spoke about value-driven schools. We spoke about how to make a worksheet. We spoke about discipline in the classroom. We spoke about SACE. We spoke about an interactive chart. And remember, I did say that the interactive chart is not a lesson. All you merely do is show me what you're going to do with the chart. So all these things we are now going to take and we are now going to use here in our lesson planning. So anything we learned there is going to be put into practice here. And that is the reason why we go step by step, and that is the reason why it should take 8 weeks. And we've had to do it in 3. So what we learned here, we're going to put into practice. Right. So let's go now and see what it's all about. The very first thing that we want to talk about is, why do we need a lesson plan? Why must I go and write this whole long thing out when I think that I can just go into a classroom and teach what I have to teach? If I have to teach a science, I can just read it before and go and... There is no such thing, not even for an old lady like me, who's been teaching for 54 years. I cannot go into a classroom and just teach. I have to have a plan. It's like your GPS. It's going to show you the way. This is my GPS, and I'm moving towards it, and I'm moving towards reaching my aims of what I want to do in that classroom. Now, when you get to schools, they're going to say to you, just go into the classroom, don't worry about preparing anything, just wing it there. Do not listen to them. You're going to get into serious trouble yourself. And you're going to get yourself really mixed up, because you cannot just go into a classroom. Right, so why do we need it? We need it because it is our GPS. It shows us where we're going. Now, what do I need before I start with my lesson plan? What do I need before I start writing this lesson plan down? Well, there are a few things, and I'm going to show you what they are. The first thing is, I need to draw myself a spider diagram. I need to draw a spider diagram which is a rough kind of summary of what I want to teach. And I'll show you what it would look like, and why it's called a spider diagram is because, let's say I'm going to teach photosynthesis. I would write it here in the middle. This is my spider. Photosynthesis. Now, in my lesson plan, I've got all these different parts. So, I have all these different legs going out and showing me what I'm going to do. So, in other words, the one would be, what strategies am I going to try out in this lesson? Remember strategies? What methods am I going to use? Oh, I'm going to use explanation, and I write it down. I'm going to use question, and you know what? I'm going to take a little experiment with, so I'm going to do a demonstration, and I write it down here. How am I going to introduce it? What am I going to use for my introduction? Oh, I'm going to take them for a walk outside first to have a look at the garden. And I write it into my lesson plan here, into my spider diagram. Every single lesson plan that you write this year has to have a spider diagram with it. So when you hand in your lesson plan, you hand in your spider diagram. And this is the first thing you do. What else do I need? I need the CAPS document, because I've got to know what I'm going to teach. It's all very well, the teacher says to me, well, tomorrow you're going to do a lesson, do it on the Second World War. That's the topic. What are the content areas? I can't go and stand there for an hour, because if I had to speak about it, I will speak about it for days. So I've got to know what content area I'm going to be dealing with. I need the textbook. I need the textbook not to read from, but I need the textbook to prepare my lesson. I need to get this information and put it into my lesson. I need reference books. I need to go to a library. I need to find things that have got photosynthesis in, that have got the Second World War in, that have got all sorts of things. So I need my reference books. Then I need to Google, and that's an important part. I need to get ideas, and I need to get more information than what is in the textbook. I've got to be able to tell them a little bit extra. If you looked at the video of the bee, and you saw it was a bee lesson I gave, I think it was for grade 2 or grade 3. Now, it wasn't just enough to tell them about the bee. I had facts here that they didn't know. And I wrote some interesting facts. How did I know about it? I Googled it. I Googled facts like, if you're scared of bees and they come near you, breathe on them. Because bees don't like human breath. So just go over them and they'll go away. All that kind of thing was written here. When they want to talk to each other and tell each other where the honey is or where the pollen is, they do a waggle dance. If it's left, it's that way. If it's right, it's that way. All right? So you need some extra things for them. They don't just want to hear about facts, 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 facts. You've got to make it interesting. And then I need some creative ideas. I can't just go in there and just talk. I've got to find out what kind of resources I can use. Be here. Can I take some leaves in? Can I take an experiment in? And I've got to have it all on my spider diagram. Right, so that is as far as there. Now I want you to have a look and see on Learn 2023 you are going to find the template of the lesson plan. Now all of us tutors, really, we weren't born yesterday, so we know that you copy from each other, you give each other your lesson plans, you give them this, you give them that. It's fine. I didn't have a problem with that because I wasn't employed to be an investigator, all right? I'm employed to help you to be the best that you can be, all right? So on Learn 2023, you will find a template that looks like this. It is a lesson plan, but it is on special paper because it has a shadow on it of a young girl. And unless the lesson plan is written on this template, it can't be marked. Okay? So this is the template that you need to write your lesson plan. Now, today, all I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to fill in the top information, because it looks easy, but there are a lot of students who don't do it correctly. The first thing is the date. Right, and here is the day. Now, the date I'm going to give my lesson will be the 13th of March, and the 13th of March will be a whatever, let's say Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is, and I write it in. And that has to be in at the top of your lesson plan. We've got to know what day it was. It's important, because if you have an assessor there one day and you can't remember when it was, and there's a bit of an interrogation about this, you will have your lesson plan with this on, and he will have a copy of it. So make sure that this is written in. The next thing that you need to do is the name of the school. Now this is where I want you to look very carefully. The name of the school is Ogwini Comprehensive School. Now what you need to have a look here is, that is a capital letter, it's the name. This is still belongs to the school, and school still belongs to Ogwini, so all three of these words must be written with a capital letter. Please. Right. The next thing is your student surname. Which is quite easy, you know how to do that. The next thing is your number, student number, which must be in. And then grade. Now, if I'm teaching this lesson to grade 10, I will write grade 10B, or grade 10A, or grade 10C, wherever you're going. Now, the next one is the important one, because it says subject. The subject you're going to teach. Will it be maths? Will it be English? Will it be science? Will it be life orientation? Or life orientation. You write it out. Life orientation. That is the subject. Now it says, what is the topic? And this you know about, we've just done it. That's why we had to learn about the CAPS document. You go to the topic that you're going to discuss, and it will be one of those development of self. Or it will be rights and responsibilities. And you look under there and you write down what your lesson will be about. Your content area. And development of self, and I'm going to give the lesson on bullying. So all this has to be filled in. And it all has to be filled in here at the top. That is the general information. Right. Duration of lesson is the last one. And here you just fill in how long the lesson is. Mostly 45 minutes or whatever it is, and you fill it in. Now, for today, I'm only going to go as far as that. Tomorrow, I'll carry on and go on to the next specific aims, and I'll try and get down to the introduction, which we will do on Friday when I see you, hopefully, if everybody's off the campus. So, what I want you to do for Friday is get this off the internet, off Learn 2023, so that you have it there with you in class, so that you can write in pencil in this lesson plan as we go along. And bring a piece of paper so that we can do our spider diagram together, so that you'll be able to understand what to do. Now, that is terribly simple, and I hope that you are going to look at this video and listen and bring the stuff on Friday. Otherwise, the day is going to be wasted. It's the one and only time I'm going to see you. So, please, get it off the internet, have a look at it, and make sure that all those assignments come in now by Friday. If you haven't handed them in, please make sure. The only one that you need to video is the interactive chart, and when you videoed it to me, I will reply to you on WhatsApp. The rest I send back to you. I email them back. Right, thanks very much. I'll speak to you tomorrow.